Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Alicia, and in this video I am going to make a Santa cam and an elf cam. I'm going to do both using Dollar Tree's plastic Christmas balls and a flashlight. So I've been wanting to do this. I wanted to do this last year, and the Dollar Tree didn't have any more of those camera lenses. And I was like, okay, so this year I tried again shopping at the Dollar Tree looking for the camera lenses, nowhere to be found. I looked on Amazon and they were way too expensive. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money doing this. So I decided that I am going to try doing this with a flashlight. So, and the reason why I really wanted to do this year especially is because my baby girl is 6, and she said to me she's very excited about the elf coming. She's been counting down the days because she's like, when's the elf going to show up? I'm like, I don't know, somewhere like the first week of December. And she's like, well, how many days is that? And she's asking Alexa how many days, and she's like, every day she's coming to me, she's like, it's between 9 and 13 days that the elf is going to be here. So anyway, so I wanted to do this because she said, well, how is the elf going to see me in every room? So I thought, you know, this is a perfect time to figure out how to make this elf cam. So if you're interested to see what I came up with, let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is race to the Dollar Store and get supplies. And these are the supplies I am using. So, Dollar Tree plastic Christmas ball, a flashlight, and then you'll need your scissors, craft knife, UV resin, glow powder, optional, Andy's candy. Wait. Andy's candy. Oh, no, we don't need that. Let me just put, that's just for moral support. Yes, I'm going to have that. I'm going to have one of these because I am a chocoholic. Anyway, your glitter of your choice, whatever. I'm going to go with ruby slippers, and I'm going to do Phoenix as a filler in case it doesn't fill all the spots. And your paintbrush. So, oh, you know what else I need? As I'm stuffing this piece of candy in my mouth? I need, a Sharpie marker. Yes, a Sharpie. Hold on. I'll be back with that. Wait a minute. No, I got it in my drawer. Yes, here we go. Ah, yes. All right, so we are going to take this out and put this aside, and I am going to use my toilet paper, emergency pandemic stash toilet paper, to hold it. And so actually what we want to do is, and the order you do this is important because I'm doing it with UV resin. Now, if I wasn't doing this with UV resin, then it wouldn't really matter. But because I am, and if you're going to follow the same steps, follow them in this order. So I'm going to go ahead and trace around this with a Sharpie marker. Don't worry about that Sharpie marker because it will come off with 91% alcohol, I promise you. Let me just knock stuff over. All right. And we are going to cut out this circle very carefully with a very sharp craft knife. And you're just going to kind of do a sawing motion slowly. So you're not, you know, cutting too far because you want to stay within this circle. And I did this a couple of different ways. I tried using a rotary tool and then like kind of like making a slice, and then using scissors, which came out like really super jagged. Then I tried using a rotary tool, which took like forever. So I found that this was actually the easiest way. So that's how I did it. Throw that away, and then the 91% alcohol will take this right off. So this is the way I found to get the cleanest edge around here. All right, that's it. So now we're gonna put this aside and work on this here. And I went with the bigger ball because this flashlight head's kind of big, so it would look silly on a little ball. So I went with the bigger one. And we're going to dismantle this bad boy. Yank out all of this. Chuck that, or if you have a craft project. Oh, I forgot a tool. This tool. We're going to use that to clip. Wear safety glasses, guys, because, you know, these can pop. So you don't want to do that. Like they can, you know, pop up or whatever. Just make sure you're wearing a piece of glass. Glasses. Yes, glasses. I'm going to. This is where it could, like, go flying. So I'm going to go, there we go. All right. I'm going to throw all these little innards away. And so we're left with a little bulb here. And I'm going to trim that up. All right, these tools are very handy. I love these wire cutter thingies, whatever they are. Alrighty, so, all right, so that's there. Then we're gonna paint the inside of this guy, and we're gonna paint it black. And I'm just using. So I'm just gonna paint that silver black with an acrylic paint. You can use any acrylic paint that you have on hand. Just, you know, give it enough coats to cover it completely. So, you know, this is pretty good. It only takes one coat, but if you see that silver, go ahead and do it another coat. And then I'm going to let it dry about 10 or 15 minutes. I'm going to use my heat gun to speed up that dry time so that I can move on to the next step. And I'm just applying that with a soft tip bristle or a fine bristle paintbrush. Okay, once that is dry, it's time to start reassembling. So I'm going to go ahead and UV resin down that lens back into its holder. And so I'm just going to put it around the edge, hold it down, and hit it with my UV light. All right, so I'm going to take that little lens part, the actual part that would illuminate if it was still the flashlight, and I'm going to UV resin that inside the hole. So I'm just going to coat it, and then I'm going to hit it from both sides and make sure it's nice and secure. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to go in with my UV resin, and I'm going to just kind of dot around that lens, and this is where I'm going to pour in my glow powder, my green glow powder. This is optional. You do not have to do this. I just thought it was cool, you know, for it to glow in the dark at night. So go ahead and once you've got that cured, you know, you're going to dump out, well, you've already dumped out the rest of the powder and just brush it out with a fine bristle brush. And then go ahead and reassemble that head again. So place that in there, put the UV resin around, and hit it with the UV light. Now you can do this with glue if you want. You don't have to do it with UV resin, but I wanted instant freeze on it. I didn't feel like waiting for the glue to dry, so I, you know, opted for using the UV resin. So now I'm going to again UV resin this the lens to the plastic ball. It's late and I'm tired, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm like yawning and losing my train of thought. Because I'm trying to get this out for you guys tomorrow. So put that UV resin around, place that lens on, hit it with the UV light. I'm going to hit it from the top, the sides, and then I'm going to flip the ball over and do it that way. So that's why you don't want to glitter it yet, because you want to make sure that that lens is secure. So I'm just going to squeeze the polyacrylic right into the ball, and my ratio is 1/3 water to 2 parts polyacrylic. It's not too thick but not too thin. I felt that ratio works really well for me. I felt like if it was too thin, it gets kind of bubbly in there, and I feel like it doesn't get a really good coating. But then if it's too thick, it takes too long to drain. So the 1/3 ratio, 1/3 water, 2/3 polyacrylic works really well. So I get it in there, swirl it all around, make sure there's no bubbles in there, and then I let it drain for 5 minutes. All right, so this has been draining for 5 minutes and now it's ready for glitter. I already did, I know I said I was going to do red and I did. I've been having problems with videoing tonight. So what I did was I switched over, I did the red and I had issues. So I switched over to the green to show you how I did this. And I'm using Palace of Oz, and it's a chunky glitter. And so I'm going to follow it up with, once I get it in there, with the Emerald Isle. And so I'm going to do a little at a time, because whatever comes back out of this ball, you're not going to want to reuse, because it's going to be coated with polyacrylic. So it's pretty contaminated glitter. So go ahead and just, do a little at a time, get as coated as you want it, and then go in with the fine glitter to fill in any spots. And so once I'm done, oh, and another thing is I do not swirl the glitter inside the ball. I shake it. Swirling the glitter, I for some reason would get lines when I did it that way, so I stopped doing that way. So I just put a paper towel over it and I shake it. And, then I'll twirl it around to make sure it hits the spots. But for the most part, shaking it works the best for me. And so once that is good, I go ahead and insert the cap back on the top, and then I'm going to go ahead and paint the cap and put the decal on. And this one is going to not be done, because this is the one I'm going to stick in with my tree, my plant that I have. And so I am going to I'm going to insert a skewer. So this is going to be a ball on a stick. So, I'm just going to put on some music, because I've already sped this up until I get to the point where I am ready to start working on making the hole for the skewer. Oh, and yeah, I am painting the cap black with black acrylic paint, and you can use any brand that you want. The first thing I'm going to do is use my rotary tool to drill a pilot hole at the bottom. And then once I am done with that pilot hole, I'm going to come in with a bigger bit and I'm going to hone that out. And it took me a little while to do this, so I sped through it. So I finally got it to the point where the skewer fit in there. And then I UV resined the skewer to the ball. I don't want it to be removable. I don't want it to fall off. So I felt that that was going to be the best way to do it. Also, I wanted to measure the stick. I'm using a regular drinking straw, and I just mark it on the stick and cut the stick down, because I don't want it to be too long. And the reason why I'm covering it with a straw is because if you stick it in dirt, the skewer is wood, it's gonna soak up that moisture when you water your plant. So I wanted to protect it. So I went and I UV resined the straw onto the skewer or the ball. So then this way, when you stick it into the dirt, you're not going to ruin the skewer. So, I forgot, I thought I was filming it and I didn't, but once I got that straw UV resined on, the end of the straw is open, and so if you stick it in the dirt, then that dirt's going to get in there, and the water's going to wake up. So I folded the end of the straw down. That's why I cut another little piece off, and I folded the straw, and then I just covered it with white vinyl. Sorry I missed doing that, but you see here I'm folding it. Then later I go with white vinyl and just kind of wrap it around that bottom. You're not going to see it. It's going to be in the dirt. So so then, this is nice and secure and protected, and it should last for years. So after I'm done that, I'm going to apply my SantaCam decal. And so you can use whatever font you want. And I cut slits into the into the transfer paper so that it would go around the curve of the ball, because if anybody's done vinyl work on a curved surface, you know it can be a real pain in the butt. So and then that is it. Santa Cam is done. The decals are on and everything is dry, or the inside is still drying a little bit through the slit in the top, but we're good to go. So just real quick, I want to show you where I got the Santa Cam design from. I got it from Creative Fabrica. I am an affiliate with them, and I'm going to link them down below with a discount code. They are a subscription service, or you can buy things out of cart. The subscription service is really worth it because, you know, if you're like me and you buy a lot of designs, this is worth the $19 a month. So I'm going to put the details in the description below. But I typed in Santa Cam and I pulled it up and I downloaded the one I wanted, and I took out the center part and resized the Santa Cam to 1.5 to go around my ball. And then I went and I sliced out the cam because it's one unit, and so if you go and print it, you're gonna have all that space. So what I did was I just used a square and I went and I sliced that out so that it now doesn't, you know, there's no space in there, so when you print it, it's all together and you don't waste all that vinyl. Oh, we have a visitor.
Hi. Hi, like and subscribe.
Okay. All right, guys, these are all done. And I'm really, really happy with how these turned out. You know, my daughter is such a realist and she's really hard to fool. So, you know, if I would have did this with vinyl, she would have been like, that's fake. So I had to make it look as realistic as possible. And I like the way this came out. So guys, definitely try this, you know. So we can't get our hands on those cheapy camera lenses. So next best thing, use the flashlight. So here we go. We got Santa Cam on a stick here. We got Santa Cam that we can hang up, or yeah, like hang up in the corner or whatever. And then I even went and did an elf cam. So you see elf cam. And I'm going to be making actually a couple more of these. So here you go, guys. This is what I came up with. Thank you all for sticking around. Please make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment. I love to hear your feedback. Check the description down below for products I use, links to products, as well as discount and affiliate codes. And guys, that is it for this one. And I will see you all next time. Bye.
When Christmas comes, you'll be crying too, 'cause Santa Claus is watching you. He's everywhere, he's everywhere.